do. Eventually, we're going to have a video opening segment. I promise everybody out there. We need these few seconds, these few precious seconds in the beginning. It's a special time between just us and the live stream audience. We cut this part out for the podcast. This isn't for the podcast.
Okay. So
this is just for you that answered this call early.
And can I see the live comments on my screen?
I should be able to. I don't know. Somebody's got a comment. We don't have any.
Okay.
We'll see.
Comment. Someone say hi now.
Someone say hi. Comment quickly. We need a comment to see if it works.
Hi. Hello.
No, I don't know. So who knows if anybody's watching? Okay. 500 people are watching. I see 6 on the side. Who knows? Listen.
Yeah, you have to ignore that.
Ignore
that. It's not accurate.
The Russians through 5G towers, and they're going to make us all get vaccinated. That's what the internet said.
And then the lizards. Don't forget the lizards.
I love you, internet. All right, we're going to get to serious business now. Let me start the music, and we'll actually go into the part that we want people to listen to. Here we go. Good evening, everybody. This is Brian Powers. I'm here with my comrade and my partner in New Jersey Revolution Radio Live. We come at you every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. You can stream us on Twitter. You can stream us on Facebook Live. You can go to YouTube, or you can wait a day or two to get the video if you're a Patreon subscriber, the finished video with graphics and better audio and things like that. Or you can wait a little longer and get the free podcast that's available on Spotify and iTunes and anywhere pretty much you get your podcasts at this point. You can visit us on the web, www.njrevolutionradio.com. You can donate. But once again, if you become a Patreon at any level, you get early releases of our regular show, Wine, Women, and Revolution with Heather Warburton. Her latest episode, Plague Economics, is out right now, but you get it on Friday. Everybody else gets it on Monday if you are a Patreon subscriber, plus the extra video features. And we are thinking of ways every day that people who support our work will get those little bonuses through Patreon and other ways. So visit us again on the web, www.njrevolutionradio.com. Hi, Diane Moxley. How are you over on the other end of the world, around the corner? It doesn't matter because everybody we know is a talking head on the screen these days.
Yeah, yep. We're all staying at home, quarantining.
Well, I've been getting out a little. We've been getting out a little.
Yes.
We've been getting out
and that brings us to our first topic of the evening. Ways we go outside is super safe. Mm-hmm. What we do have to do are essential duties, but built into our essential duties is also the commitment we have to our communities. So what have you been doing, Brian, in regards to mutual aid? I heard that you had your first run with some deliveries locally, and you're going to be working with our super loved Teresa Marquila. Shout out Teresa Marquila and Mutual Morris on Facebook. Look for Mutual Morris. So tell me what you've been up to with that. What's going on?
Mutual Middlesex. I
like it.
I stole Teresa and Renee's stuff. I took it all. I copied and pasted, and we continue to, kind of grow that network that involves so many wonderful comrades. We delivered in just a couple of days. We delivered baskets of food to 5 families in need. And there's a lot of families out there right now that are going to fall through the cracks. This system ain't to support poor people. It just ain't. Nobody's cared about poor people in this country since its inception. So we didn't start all of a sudden when COVID began. And it crosses all kinds of lines of people. There are all kinds of reasons, whether they're elderly, whether they have risks and they're just afraid of going to the store, whether they have young children and getting out is whatever. There's a lot of reasons why people really need to stay home. Mm-hmm. So those of us that are able-bodied, and I've been safely quarantined for about a month now, over a month. I have a safe method of getting in and out of my truck. I'm Lysoled up, and I've got a cleaning sanitation service, and I'm training, whoever. I mean, I've ranted enough publicly about safety. I can't fuck around. I'm not going to volunteer or work with an organization that doesn't put safety as a priority in these times. So, you know, Teresa, again, and I had a couple of conversations leading up to this, and very quickly, we're already serving families in need with just a few phone calls. It's been the outpouring of support is already too much for me to keep up with right now. And so my biggest concern right now, honestly, is just taking on too much work and not being able to handle. You can make a problem worse, you know, by, you know, promising goods and services that you can't deliver. So we're trying to right now scale out properly, you know, is what I'm saying. And the resources are on their way in.
I want people to jump right in, though. I don't think, you know, mutual aid is not charity. Yeah. So the people who need assistance and the people who can deliver assistance, there's a mutual relationship there. I think a lot of people are afraid to act, and you really only need 3-4 people that are willing to start jumping in, and you put the word out to your social networks. You quickly you got what you needed. I know you helped 2 families in Edison, and within 24 hours, you got food, you got some cash.
Yeah.
I think we got to have a little faith in each other and just jump out and do it. It's not going to be perfect. You're not promising anything. People are asking for assistance and you're giving them what you can give them. That's not a fail. That's not promising things you can't deliver. That's
it is. It isn't. No, that's what you have to do when you're at the early stages of building this network, you know, is have those, you know, really. And we've got a great, and honestly, it was really, I've organized, you know, you and I have banged our head against the wall plenty of early goings of projects. We know the feeling of organizing for a month to watch 2 people show up to your meeting in a library. It sucks, and we've all been there, right? It's the opposite. I've got people flying. I'll give, you know, help. How can I? People have already volunteered for days of driving, and you know, I'll go shopping and given a couple of dollars. You know, we've taken in, you know, a couple of $50. Basically, what we're doing is we're trying to stock goods for Berners, you know, like the basic necessities, the high demand goods. Teresa shared with me the high demand goods like rice and infant baby food, diapers. Right now, we're looking for 2, 4, and 6. So, you know, if we can stock these really high demand items,
2, 4, and 6.
Yeah, and then add like a little bit of cash for the real needs, the specific needs of that family. So, you know, somebody's running a fever, they need some Tylenol, you know, so on and so forth. So, you know, we're trying to make it as good a service as possible to take care of basic necessities, but also be able to make sure that you know, each delivery and each family gets taken care of where they need. And some people just need the delivery service. You know, they'll pay for the groceries and they just need somebody to, you know, they just need somebody that, because the services right now are backed up, and the shoppers, I know that, you know, going, my wife has been trying to go on to shop, right? Anything happening right now. There's wait times online. So
yeah.
2.5 hours, and then you get booted off by the server. So,
yep.
But what are you doing there now? I know Union. I've heard Union County. So that's what I'm in Middlesex. But has Union done anything? I know I've watched Ellie Thomas, who's delivering to hundreds of families. I've also heard a number of organizations are doing this kind of mutual aid work. That term mutual aid is starting to get defined, I think, right now. I mean, what have you seen? Are you got your hand in on this too, or what's up?
We're still just getting started in Union County, and we assisted you with your first run.
Yeah.
And we are raising money on our Union County Mutual Aid Facebook page. There is a fundraiser for the Elizabeth Coalition to Have Homeless. So right now we're partnering with them. They have their annual gala, in which they typically raise $65,000, had to be canceled because it was during COVID. But they have to continue to offer services to the homeless community in the Elizabeth area. But they also offer other services, low-income people in the area. It's not just about housing the homeless. They offer many more services that really this need has to be met, and they're going to be stretched thin. So the first thing you could do for us right now is go to Union County Mutual Aid and donate any small amount. Anything will do. And we have a running list right now of who can do what. And I'm not going to say we stole Teresa's materials, but we're also trying to get our spreadsheets up that were given to us by Teresa Marquilla. And I'm going to tell people too that are in other counties that don't have a network, you can message. You'll see Teresa Marquilla or Morris Mutual, right? Mutual Morris.
Mutual Middlesex. I don't
on
know
Facebook.
Zelly. You can find Zelly Thomas.
Yep, but right now we're
mutual aid work. Central Jersey DSA. The term is going around, and I'm excited to be a part of it. It's cool. It's cool work. I don't care who you get involved with. It's decentralized stuff. Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you have a group in your area that's doing this work, I've been stressing, doing what we can. If you're getting a Trump check and it's extra money for you, I know not all of us have extra money. Not many of us do. Yeah. But if you're giving a little bit, I'd say if you can, give a little bit. And it doesn't have to be to New Jersey Revolution Radio at www.njrevolutionradio.com/donate. It doesn't have to be there, but it can be, for something good. And buying food for a family is just another way. It's just work we want to encourage by putting it out there, and more to come on how to get this going. If you're interested, how to be a part of a mutual aid network. I can't say too much because I don't have dates and confirmations yet, but we're going to be hopefully teaching comrades how to do that work here on New Jersey Revolution Radio and around the state of New Jersey very soon.
Yeah.
Exciting
more
stuff.
To come.
Good stuff. Positive stuff. All right. Let me curse about something before.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see? I sent you the article on Facebook about our dear friends on the Trenton City Council. I guess the term "come on, man" is probably copyrighted. Although I know the sports broadcaster, I think it was Keyshawn Johnson that used to use it. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I mean, come on, man. I mean, we can't make this up. I'm trying to get this. There we go. That the Trenton City Council, they have the city council president. We see you using. I don't. Oh my God! Now it won't let me into the article right now. But the Trenton City Council person, the city council president, is concerned about 5G. Diane.
What, does she not have enough 5G cell phone towers in her area? Is she seeking to have better cell phone service? Is that it?
I'm sorry I can't share the article because technology hates me.
But we'll pop it up. We'll pop it up.
We have it right. You can just Google Trentonian City Council President Kathy McBride, who was famously duped by the blue waffle disease hoax during her first city council stint, claimed in an interview last week to the Trentonian that all right, pop-ups, thanks, pop-ups. I'm just trying to do a fucking show promoting your goddamn article, Trentonian. Yeah. All right. He fell for a blue waffle hoax, apparently. Put in some kind of proposition. Now, it's not dated or nothing. It's preliminary, and McBride hoped to consult a scientist, quote, scientist, or someone with expertise who could advise the council on the public health risks of installing 5G in Trenton. That's from the Trentonian.
So they were trying to ban 5G in Trenton, right?
Help me explain to my children how we've created a system where we elevate the stupidest fucking people on the goddamn planet into these positions of power. All right, you don't need to be an expert. I worked in telecom for years, and I have common sense, and I know the difference between ionizing and non-ionizing radiation, as should anybody who's even opening their fucking mouth about public policy. I don't mind that people don't know what's going on. I don't mind that there are people on the internet touting conspiracy theory. We have to fight that. We've done our part here at New Jersey Revolution Radio. We've had Christian on since before this to fight this shit. I've always seen it
ongoing. Our battles never end.
I've always seen it as an evil. I've always seen it as a detriment to the Green Party. I've always seen it as a detriment to the left to buy into nonsense and bad science and conspiracy theory. And we fight it from the very beginning here. And I've always fought it as a problem at a grassroots level. As a problem in the proletariat, but it's a problem in the bourgeoisie, and it's a particular problem within the Democratic Party, which is insistent on elevating lackeys and fucking morons who will do their corporate masters' biddings into these little positions of power, from school board to dog catcher to everything on up to the president of the United States. Their efforts in this establishment to elevate narcissists and morons has got to come to an end. We need options.
Yeah. You just have to kiss the ring, and then they... Oh, and our segue.
And our option from the Democratic Party is a racist old fool who may have had a stroke in the last couple of months, who's basically been groping women on camera for many, many years. So that's our only alternative, right, Andrea Mérida?
No, it isn't. I'm supporting Howie Hawkins, who right now is the front runner for the Green Party nomination for president, and he's also the nominee from Socialist Party USA.
Howie Hawkins. Who's Howie Hawkins?
Oh my God, where do we start about Howie Hawkins? You know, this is one of the left's. I'm going to be a little bit of a fangirl here for a second here. You know, I've always looked up to Howie Hawkins because he's been this working class intellectual of the left, you know, and you know, is one of the first people to kind of coin himself as an eco-socialist in this country, and is very learned and is an incredible grassroots organizer, all while lifting boxes for the last 20 years over at UPS. So I mean, this is like the fruit of the proletariat right here. And so he's a co-founder of the Green Party of the United States, as you all know. And a bunch of us got together and drafted him to run for president, you know, and they kind of look at Green Party runs as being these sort of like idealistic, sort of, you know, quixotic kind of things. But we really do share his value on his team that the working class is worth fighting for. You know, we need legitimate, to put our legitimate issues out on the table, and we need people to talk about them frankly. And, you know, the clarion for many years has been Howie Hawkins, and I'm just super stoked to be working with him.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about
there you
that.
go.
Diane, you're working with the Howie. Probably closer than I am. Yeah, I was just going to toss it to you there anyway, because you've probably done a little more field level work than I have with Howie. I talked to Howie when he launched the campaign back in the beginning. I think it was was it prior to the GP convention, or was it some kind of event we did? I don't remember. He did a one-on-one here on New Jersey Revolution Radio. Search our videos and you'll find it. But Diane, I think since then you've probably done a little more field level work. What's going on in New Jersey? And are we starting to get a little excited that we have a candidate that's going to get some attention given the current political state of affairs within the Democratic Party circus?
Yeah, absolutely. We have our progressive Dem friends that we work together with on issues in New Jersey. But I'm happy to see, and, you know, sad for them. They have to do it on their own on their own timeline, on their own terms. But we are seeing some of our progressive Dems coming back over to Green. And I'm seeing a whole lot of buzz right now for Howie. It's going to be rough out there. We're getting attacked, just like 2016. So we got to put our Teflon panties on and just keep doing our good work and organize. You know, of course, I want Howie to win, because we've got rapist number 1, rapist number 2, racist 1, racist 2. Of course, I'd want him to win, but we have our secondary goal. And Andrea, I know you could give us a lot more details about this. It's about building a movement. And I love that this is going to be a working class movement right here in the Green Party, with the coalition building with the Socialist Party. But one of our objectives and goals is also about reaching certain hurdles and with fundraising. Could you tell our viewers how that works and what we would be what we'd be doing.
Well, this is a 100% grassroots funded campaign, just like green campaigns across the country. We don't take corporate PAC dollars. We don't take corporate donations. We don't do any of that stuff. And so very much like the Sanders campaign, we're funded by the grassroots. We are trying to achieve matching funds, and there are strictures put on people who accept public funding for their campaigns. As Greens, we believe that that public money, our elections should be publicly funded in the first place. So it's a no-brainer to compete for matching funds. And basically what that means is we need at least $5,000 raised in each one of 20 states at the very least in donations of $250 or less. When we do that, then the federal government matches dollar for dollar everything that we've raised. So that $3 that you do the little check mark on in your tax return that goes for the presidential fund, that's what funds these matching funds. As of right now, our last information that we got here, New Jersey is 77% to goal to that 5,000, and so that means that if we raise another $1,350 from New Jersey, they will then be the 5th state to achieve that $5,000, and so that's a good thing.
Excellent. So we just need how much more?
Trump checks to the Green Party. Trump checks to the Green Party.
Yeah, right. We need $1,000,
right?
$1,350.
Okay.
And what's the individual limit on it? Can one person give that much?
Well, you can give because we're still in the primary. You can give up to $2,800. I mean, who the heck has that right now, right? But in order to qualify for the matching funds, you have to give. They count up to $250. So what most people are doing are, given in some increment of that. There are people who just plop down $250 though, and we're grateful for the $5 donations. We're grateful for the larger ones.
Absolutely. Okay. There's plenty of people in New Jersey with that much money. There's not many of them given to the Green Party.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't really appeal to people with a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. You know what? We're gonna stay that way too.
Yeah.
We'll take the small donations.
But you're a dues-paid organization, so you at least have some operating funds. Don't shake your head. Say yes.
We do.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Sure. Yeah.
We do have some. Yes.
I know you got to go. You can't stick around because you got work to do. But we see your little on the screen there, HowieHawkins.us at Andrea AndreaMerida is the handle right there because people are going to hear this. And comrade, we want to make sure that you get the spoken word on before you leave us as to how people can continue to follow your work. Of course, the Colorado Greens do you still work with them, or is it just H2O right now?
Yeah, I'm still the state co-chair of the Green Party of Colorado, and we're real proud. We're going through our primary process right now. By state law in Colorado, we're not allowed to participate in the state-run primary, and ours happened in Colorado happened to be in Super Tuesday. But we're running our internal primary right now, and anybody who's a Green can just register Green and then go in and go get their electronic ballot. So that's easy. New Jersey is going to be having their primary process, their nominating convention on May 2nd. Mm-hmm. And basically, you just have to make sure that you're registered Green, and you register for the link, or register for a Zoom meeting that you all are having on May 2nd. The voting for the presidential preference that you all are doing is starting on May 2nd during that meeting. The registration link for that meeting to cast your vote for, hopefully, Howie Hawkins. I have a quick short link, and that's hawkins20.us/NJmeet. I'll put it here in the private chat so that maybe if you want to put that up there. And really, that's an important meeting for Greens around the state to get involved in, because you're going to be able to elect officers, and not just the presidential stuff, but people really in this day and time, we need to be engaged in the Green Party. I'm personally very excited to be supporting this candidate who is anti-sexist, anti-racist, anti-transphobia, has all of these social qualities that are so important. And I said before, he's a great representative of the proletariat. And so this is one of the things that we're seeing is that because of the fact that Howie's values around being a member of the working class, all of his social values, being extremely anti-oppression and being very loud and proud about those things, are really interesting in what we're doing in the Green Party. And we're seeing this incredible surge of support coming from the Berners coming in.
Yep.
And I think a lot of our rank and file Greens are really taking, they're excited by seeing that surge, which is great. Just in the matter of the week since Bernie Sanders did his campaign, we've seen about 25% of what we've raised today being raised in that one week. So I'm really excited about the surge, and this is a great candidate for folks to get behind. So
yeah. So we welcome any Berners who want to join us, any independents. And, I put it out there that if you love Bernie, you love Howie. His platform is to the left of Bernie, and it's solid. He's the real leader. And he's a great policy guy. And brilliant man. I've had the opportunity to speak to him for quite some time, and his politics are just so solid through and through. He's the most authentic candidate that's running out there, regardless of party. I know we have some other great lefties out there, even in other parties, and I don't mean to disparage them, but just how he's been doing this for decades, and we can all learn so much from him. So donate, get involved. Now's the time. And we also have our New Jersey meet and greet, virtual meet and greet, Sunday, April 26th at 3 p.m. So save the date, and we'll be getting info out to our viewers.
Thanks a lot. I've told the story many times. I'm not going to repeat it only because we're short on time, but Howie Hawkins really wrote me into the Green Party politics. And my comrade Andrea really gave me hope that there's a real left in the Green Party and an educated left. And I want you to know, comrade, that your work in Colorado has been reflected here in New Jersey. And, keep going, because you've inspired a lot more than you may be able to see from over there in Colorado. I can assure you that. So,
well, you all have done tremendous work too. So we're always glad to be in partnership with New Jersey Green Party.
All right, sister. We will see you again really soon. Make sure you get over here. All right. Bring us some good weed.
All right.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks.
All right. So we're going to pop in Lark, and we're going to do some commercials real quick. But Lark from Will Start Small is a part of our next segment. Her hair looks so awesome. The last time I saw her, but I knew you had a new do. But you've talked about it on Facebook, but I don't know that I actually saw it until I started prepping for the show.
Okay.
It is, but it looks fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. All right.
Yeah.
Tonight's main show sponsor is Hub City Smokes, 84 Patterson Street in New Brunswick, New Jersey. If you're by there, I don't know that they're open, but they actually opened the glass shop near me. They're closed to the front door, so you got to open. They will open the front door when you're 6 feet away. Dude's got a mask on, and I can, they're letting them function in the town. I know that weed is an essential business right now in the state of New Jersey, so glassware is certainly an essential part of that. I broke my bowl, man. I needed a bowl. I was sitting here smoking and figuring out. I was getting close to the aluminum can thing, and I'm not 17 anymore. I should have a nice glass bowl. So. I know they're letting, and I think that, it's essential to have some of these businesses open. Plus, people need to work and do stuff and contribute. So I'm glad to see some of that happening around the state of New Jersey. If Hub City Smokes is open there, stop on in, give them their business. They do support the show. And also the National Abortion Access Fund. We are going to have Roxanne. I didn't tell Diane this yet, but Roxanne's going to be on the show next week talking about the Cherry Hill Women's Center.
Okay.
Yep, she's got a little bit the work that they're doing. Heather and I have been talking about even though the COVID scare and social distancing is in effect, the protesters at the Cherry Hill Women's Center gathered there to intimidate women every day, not keeping their distance, and the cops don't say nothing. So, they need help. They need support. They have an online fundraiser going on right now, and the reason why they need to do this national movement is because so many states are shutting down abortion centers due to the Berry Hill Women's Center is one of the few providers out there that will provide third-term abortion and other life-saving services that are essential. Oh my God, they're essential. I don't even know how to describe how they're not even. They shouldn't be considered not essential, but they are. They save women's lives, and so right now we have to fly women from parts of the country where you can't get an abortion to places in the country where you can get an abortion, and that may be real, but that may be someplace else. But you can donate. HTTPS. The scroll went away, and I don't know how to read that fast, and I didn't take a breath. I'm gonna try it again. And if I have the energy to do it, I'll edit this later. Maybe not. Okay. https://fund.nnaaf.org/NJAAF_fundathon. And you can give them a few dollars. Roxanne will be here next week to talk more in detail about the work. I'm going to take a break. I talked a lot these first couple of segments. I'm going to hand it off to my partner to talk to my very good comrade, but I'll be back to make sure we talk a few more minutes before the segment's over. But right now I'm just going to duck out. Hand it off to Lark from We'll Start Small, Diane Moxley.
Okay. See you later, Brian. So, Lark, you have a new project, and that is We'll Start Small. And our segment right now, we're going to talk about revolutionary educating from home. Very timely right now because we're all home so much. And a little bit about your bio for our viewers that don't know Lark. She is a early childhood educationist, children's book author, peace educator, and social justice advocate for children. And I did just read your new piece, Just Let Them Play During COVID-19 Rings Hollow for the Most Oppressed. Yes.
That was actually one of my more, I didn't expect it to be. It was one of my more controversial pieces that I wrote. And it wasn't, because the point is, if we kind of say, just let them play, we're not giving children or their parents any resources when we have the resources to give their parents. We're assuming that everyone's middle class. We're assuming that everyone has the same amount of resources. And we're assuming that if schools close, everybody can be able to eat. Everybody's going to have the same access to everything, and they don't. And not only that, parents need help too. Even people who, even stay-at-home parents, which are still working parents, they need help too. The schools can provide support. Now, the thing is, they shouldn't take the 8 to 3 day and then just transfer it to school. To home, that's ridiculous. We need to actually have a curriculum that's specifically for, online. And we kind of don't have that. Just kind of like, I don't know if that was the question that you asked me, but we need that.
Yeah, just what's going on now. And there's so many variables because we have, in this day and age where we're working remotely, of course, it's people who are of privilege who have the easier time working remotely because they have the right stuff at home and they have that job that can translate into working remotely. But I'm sure we also have, in more oppressed communities, we're going to have parents who are those essential workers who are working in the food stores. They're working in the hospitals. They're either medical staff in hospitals of all different levels. They're cleaning the hospitals. And it kind of
that's another challenge. I mean, we think about, we have resources. We have some childcare agencies that are open for first responders. But as you know, there are levels of workers. There are first responders and there are essential workers. And even in like in New Jersey, where they're saying, oh, well, we have some childcare for essential workers. Well, the childcare costs like $400. If I can find, from what I saw, if it's available, it is quite expensive. I'm hoping that they may have some kind of, or they're putting together some kind of package to support people who are essential workers who need childcare, because of, as of last month, there was, for many people in many parts of New Jersey or other states, there was nothing for essential workers in regards to childcare. First responders, they had some stuff, but for essential workers, and it wasn't free. And also, those people who are working in childcare, I mean, we'll start small. Another thing that we do is we're really caring about the people who work in the field, who are predominantly childcare, is predominantly women, over 90%, over maybe 98% women. And they don't get paid any money. They are not, typically they're not unionized. Typically, it's viewed as, it's not work that's respected, and it's a job that you have to have college units to do. You have to have a background check to do, and yet we don't feel that those women who are doing that work are worth any money. The same thing with the people in the hospitals that are cleaning the floor, that are, we have this hierarchy, and then we just kind of go, thank you for your service, but we don't do anything in regards to their pay, or, and even like, and I even think about with we'll start small, we're talking about COVID-19, but this is kind of amplifies an issue that has been going on very long with this, we're creating, like, women are creating tools for capitalism instead of, we're all together creating a community. It's this kind of, you're expendable attitude. And that's, there are two levels of childcare. And I won't go into that, but there are two kinds, the kind for the rich and the kind for everyone else. And we all know that middle class, there really is no middle class. We're all working class. I mean, that's the dirty secret. There is, if you're working for a living, if your job disappeared and you would be homeless or have no home within, a month, you are working class. If you're working for a living, you're working class. And I think that that's the kind of attitude that we have to start to like embrace, and start to kind of go that we all matter, and start to create a system starting from, when children are small, or when, start small, and actually support women, children, primary caregivers, have a system set in place where this is normalized, and not something that, okay, well, now because of COVID, we're going to pay you more. People should get paid enough to live all the time, not just when there's a pandemic.
Yeah, I'm hearing grocery store workers are getting hazard pay. They're not calling it that, but there were little raises and little perks being given out. But we know what that all is, what that's about. And they're risking their lives, and they're still not getting paid. I don't believe they're getting paid living wages.
No, they're not. They're not getting paid living wage. I mean, it would, in order to be getting paid living wage, really in North Jersey, at least North Jersey, you'd have to be getting at least $30 an hour. I mean, just for like rent, paying for your insurance, paying for childcare. I mean, and also a lot of essential workers are, a lot of essential workers are people of color, and they live farther away from the work centers. So not only are they risking their lives in order to do this work, they're actually having to go go farther, coming from a farther distance, having to take public transit and use it more, take more transfers. And we see what public transit looks like now, as they have cut the bus and, the public transportation services. So they're going farther, coming from farther away, in buses that are more crowded, that is taking longer. There's no way to socially, socially physical distance when you're on a bus that's packed to the gills. There's no way to do that. So we've created a system for people to fail, and then we can point our fingers at them and go, well, why didn't you just, wait for the next bus with no one on it? Who can do that?
And it puts, I hate to say it, but if sometimes the only way people are going to wake up is realize they're putting themselves at risk, because these are the people that are stocking their shelves and, work in those cash registers that you're having immediate contact with. I'm even hearing people that have concerns about, doing your rideshare apps. A lot of people in New Jersey have to take, we won't say their names, but these car services that can be affordable. And are they doing pool rides? I'm assuming doing pools. So we're having people in really close proximity. So I just see that the worst of everything is rising to our surface. And I'm worried about these kids that are at home. And you were mentioning the resources that are needed, for the remote teaching and even just to raise a healthy child today. And I'm assuming we're seeing deficiencies in homes of the working class that can't, it's all this.
Well, I can tell you this, that even my friends that are supposedly, people of privilege are having an amazingly hard time, because the thing is that, when you have these remote jobs, I've, as you probably know, I've worked remotely like my entire career, almost. I mean, after I stopped teaching, I've worked remotely. And I'll tell you something about remote work. They actually expect you to work more, because since you're not there, you're at home. So they actually expect more from you. So I think people are have this idea that, people who are remote, they're on a break. But actually, these are people, and what ends up happening is the primary caregiver, which is typically the woman, ends up having to do her job from 9 to 5, raise her, teach her child from 9 to 5, because especially with the little ones, and then, cook dinner, clean, do all of these things in addition. And let's not even talk. I mean, and then you get to households where people are food insecure, where there isn't any money, where there isn't internet. I mean, you go to rural communities. You go to in the rural communities, the reason why they don't have the internet is sometimes money, but sometimes they just don't have internet service because of the infrastructure. Then you go to urban communities, like the more economically oppressed urban communities, they have the infrastructure, but they don't have the money to get the internet. And so, you're in this weird position where no one's doing well here. And we have no actual online curriculum that is about cooperation, that is that has a focus on diversity, that has a focus on equity, because we just didn't think we needed. The thing is that, and I think that was kind of a fault. We should have been involved in the creation of a curriculum that is online and not just view it as this tool for evil, because clearly I use it, you use it, we're using it now. Adults that are leftists, that are radical, they use this tool effectively. You're telling me we can't create a curriculum for children that supports parents that's online? Are you telling me that? There's no way I believe that. And I think that's another challenge. The online is icky. I'm like, no, there's a way to use it properly. Everything can be turned into a tool for evil. I mean, we see we see Facebook. But I mean, it can also be used for a tool for good, because think about this: if you were a small little local newspaper, if New Jersey Revolutionary Radio was a small newspaper, the outreach would be a fraction of what you do online. And we don't even think that for children. We don't think it's important. I'll tell you something. The right, the far right, the conservatives, and we call it the right, but the people who are racist, nationalist, imperialist, they are always in children's. They're always involved in small children. From abortion to the books that the children read. Cinderella. Oh, if you do really well, you'll be rich. And I mean, that's even like with my book. We'll start small. I'm creating a book that instills an awareness of social justice, community care, but it's in a traditional children's book in storytelling form. Why don't we have radical books that are for children? The thing is that you read every single game. Almost every single game, every single book that you read for little kids, it indoctrinates them in regards to capitalism, in regards to selfishness, in regards to just thinking about themselves, pulling themselves up by the bootstraps. I mean, we have to actually get involved and jump in regards to, our little friends, our little family members early, instead of like, this is not, just like LGBT issues aren't for, it isn't about like if you're older, you should be talking about this when they're little. The same thing with like revolutionary policy. You need to be talking about this when they're little. And also you be making policies, any policy that you make. Well, if someone had a child, how would this policy work? Is $15 an hour enough if you have a child? Since 80% of women of childbearing age have children, if $15 an hour isn't enough for a mother by herself, an unpartnered mother, to have a child and raise it by themselves, then that's not enough money for anybody. Because we're simply saying that women, in order to make it, they need to be partnered with a man, and that's that's not fair. So I mean, I don't know if I'm rambling on here, but
no. I love everything you're saying, and so with revolutionary education, and thank God my daughter came out okay. She's a millennial, and I was a young at the time, so we kind of learned from each other and helped each other along. But I wish I would have had the resources and even just the stuff that you are doing to raise radical children and get rid of the princess motif that's all over the place with our young girls today.
Well, even like
so to get more information,
I'm sorry, it was like freezing. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, I lost you.
No. I said it was freezing. Yeah, I was like,
go ahead.
I think one of the just to go to the princess motif. The problem with the princess motif for me is as imperialism. We're like kind of like going like, oh, there's a nation and you're by yourself, and then you get rescued, and then you get to kill people because you are the head of the. I mean, it's not just it's everything that it stands for, not just the I mean. In regards to the political part of it also. But I mean, if people want to get in touch, I think that's what you were asking because the thing kind of froze.
Sure.
You go to willstartsmall.com, which is a website, or the Will Start Small Twitter, and you can find us there. And I have a book that's coming out in August, so.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, you got my site there. Yes.
And you're gonna have there's some more pieces that are going to be coming up there, and
I mean, the thing is that I have I talk about many issues. We talk about cooperation will be coming up tomorrow, so I'll be talking about cooperation. We'll be talking about different issues like how also too right now we're at a time in education where we could change certain things, like, hey, we can't grade people right now because of COVID. You know what? Why don't we get rid of the whole grading system? It's totally ridiculous. Let's have a narrative, thoughtful way that we look at, how people learn, instead of this kind of like punitive, you failed, you passed. Let's, I feel like we could do this better. If this is overwhelming for a parent, it's overwhelming for everybody. Let's change this now while we have the chance. Let's use this to actually do some reflection on our education and early childhood systems.
Yeah, and we got to start early to break these systems that oppress us all, and learn from Lark how to raise radical youth that are going to change the world. Because as a Gen Xer, Boomers failed us worse, but I'll take some blame and I'll take some heat. I'm sorry, millennials. I'm sorry, the Gen Zs and whatever else we call them. I failed you, but Lark will make sure that we raise a radical army of youth.
Yeah. Don't tell them we exist. Don't tell them Generation X exists.
Step one is to have them bring you ice water during your podcasts. That does help, giving them little things to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teach them gardening. Kids love gardening.
Yes, exactly.
Great way to get revolutionary thought into anybody is to garden, and that starts with children. I mean, have you ever done any gardening work in conjunction with your education, Lark?
Yes, I have. As you know, my husband's very into, he's a horticulture, and he runs a little garden for children. And I plan on instituting that. And that was something I was planning on doing anyway, but now I guess, really working with people who are gardening and bringing it to children and showing and kind of a cooperative model, using it as an example of a cooperative model, but also how, we have control as a community, but not by yourself. I don't want to continue this whole, you can do it by yourself. Right. You don't need anyone, because that's kind of like how we got into this kind of phase anyway. Not this, I always tell people, when you kind of have this, team of one philosophy, keep in mind at some point you're going to go to sleep. You're a team of one, no matter how competent you are, you're going to go to sleep. And if you have no friends, they'll just take it all.
We got to support each other.
Exactly.
Go.
And I think it all relates to the mutual aid that we were talking about at the beginning of the show.
That was
gardening, children, mutual aid builds kick-ass communities, right?
Yes, exactly. And I think that's something that we need to, like I said, my next article is going to be talking about a different way of looking. We had this teacher-centered education, and then we have this idea of child-centered, and I'm like, both of those are kind of self-centered, aren't they? I think we kind of I'm like, maybe we should have group-centered or child, all of us centered. And that's kind of something that I'm talking about, because I kind of everyone should get what they need. Everyone should get what they want. I'm like, no, everybody should work together so we can all get, get what we need. Not like everybody having a different, everybody, mom has to make a different meal for every child because every child needs their unique. No, that's ridiculous. That's impossible. It's physically impossible to do. And I don't know how we got into that in education, but I don't think it's anything at all progressive about individualizing everything for everybody. That's ridiculous. But
I know why. I have a word. It starts with a C and it rhymes with capitalism.
Creating little capitalists.
Trying to make money off of kids through education and line them up for a world in which they're commodified and used for the great purpose of corporate profit.
Exactly.
Yep.
And radical thought is not going to align. Radical thought is creative thought. Radical thought is gardening. Radical thought is music. Radical thought is African American history as it kind of happened, not as white people wanted it to be. That's radical thought. Unfortunately, we shy away from those things in favor of changing children into was very clearly a school to prison pipeline. What is very clear. I mean, it's even in so many communities now, schools are becoming militarized. I can't go near a school now without a dude with a gun walking around. I don't want to see that. I don't care that he's a cop. I still don't like the guns walking around the schools. It bothers me a lot. And so I appreciate the work we're doing. And as much else, we have an opportunity. And I've talked about it. I'm kind of been shut in myself due to working from home and trying to build this network and stuff. And two things that have kept me grounded and probably on this side of sanity are my kids and being close to my children and my family and my garden. I mean, see.
Yay!
Great plants.
Yeah, ghost peppers, Diane.
Oh, I was gonna.
Oh no! Be careful with those.
Yum.
Be careful.
No. So the ghost pepper is a misunderstood vegetable. People think of it as just like fire, but it's not. If you use it in the right proportions, it's got a smoky flavor to it that no other pepper on earth.
But who used the right proportions of peppers? Who uses the right proportions?
I got some good recipes. You use it in very small amounts. You use it in, like a tablespoon for half a gallon.
That's what I'm saying.
You use it in small amounts, but it's got a unique flavor to it. I urge people to try it in correct proportions and not just try to make party jokes by killing your friends with peppers.
I'll be breaking some ground and putting some seedlings in over the next few days. I've got my stuff growing, ready to go in. And it's not just about growing for my family, but I love sharing with my neighbors, when friends come over, they leave with bags. And then, hopefully with this mutual aid, these projects sprouting up all over, I want everybody to be growing and sharing. Right?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Definitely.
It is good. It is good. So let's get in our plugs. I want to tell everybody that saw the music was too loud. I apologize for that. It sounds different in the studio than it sounds over the live stream. That's why I go back and I edit the music and I put it up on a produced video. But you have to go to Patreon and give us like $1 every month or something like that. And there's no level for it. Just give us something every month. You'll get the well-produced video, and I'll do what I can to make the audio sound better on those. And I cut in graphics and do all kinds of things. You also get early episodes of Wine, Women, and Revolution. So go to Patreon, look up New Jersey Revolution Radio, give us a couple of bucks, and hopefully those little blurbs where the music might be too loud on a live stream will be better there. Sorry, but we have to pay some bills around here, so help us out. And now that I've done my shameless plug, it's everybody else's turn.
So Lark, go ahead.
Okay. As I said, go to We'll Start Small. It's the first project I've ever had where it was really an easy title. We'll Start Small. We'llStartSmall.com. We'll Start Small Twitter. I'm trying to get my Facebook page up. Right now it's Equity Preschool, but it's changed to We'll Start Small. And I hope to see you online and just buy my book when it comes out on Sanctuary Press. She's a vegan publisher out of Florida and Sweden. And my illustrator is Diane, and she's from Mexico City. So my book's going to be very international. In August, Sanctuary Publishing. Sanctuary Publishing is a big difference between that one. Thank you.
The title of the book is?
Oh, I'm so sorry. What Every Child Should Know. What Every Child Should Know. So it's What Every Child Should Know on Sanctuary Publishing.
Okay. And when is that coming out?
It's coming out in August.
Okay. Excellent. Congrats.
Thank you.
And I guess I'll just hash what Andrea was talking about with Howie Hawkins. The Green Party of New Jersey convention, which will be our presidential nominating convention, is May 2nd. So you could look at our website for Green Party of New Jersey and Facebook page, Green Party of New Jersey Facebook page. And there's going to be links for how to sign up and vote. So, if you're not registered green, register green right now and take a snapshot of your registration form. And I'm going with Howie. It's not a secret. I'm a dual member with the Socialist Party. So I'm, doubly proud of Howie Hawkins. So check him out. Howie Hawkins for president. He's got his website. I don't have it. Brian, can you throw the link?
Yeah, we'll throw links up in the comments and stuff after the show.
Okay.
Let me see. Hold on a second. I think, actually, you know what? Oh, wait a second. In the chat here.
Okay.
There we go. Hawkins20.us/NJmeet is the link that Andrea sent us. So I'll say that one more time. Hawkins20.us/NJmeet is the link that our comrade said to check out if you're in New Jersey. And I guess you could Google Howie Hawkins. They know how to do it.
Oh yeah. And then the save the date, we'll have a link out shortly. April 26th. It's a Sunday. 3:00 is going to be a virtual meet and greet with Howie Hawkins.
Yeah, a lot of fun to get involved with. And again, you can contribute to us on Patreon or www.njrevolutionradio.com/donate. We appreciate small donations, large donations. We've got a ton of work to do. We are fighting conspiracy theories and trying to report on shenanigans at local levels. We are holding police accountable. We are working to coordinate mutual aid. We're doing our best for the people here at New Jersey Revolution Radio. Diane is every day. And, we're really proud of what we do here. And that it's just dozens and dozens and hundreds of people now at this point that contribute a little bit, that comes together here on what is really the only revolutionary independent media out there. We don't take any corporate money. And these are people that are not doing it for elections or Democratic Party nonsense, even though we're talking about the Green Party and stuff. This is real community-based work that we encourage here. What it says at the top of the screen on the screen: independent, anti-capitalist, grassroots media. That's what we are, and that means we need to support those of you that know that those things are important and can see that the work we're doing here is important. I believe in it. I know Diane believes in it. Lark, you were doing it before I was doing it, so she knows how important media is. So I want to thank you for fostering New Jersey Revolution Radio from very, very early days when it was just me on my cell phone yapping. Lark was encouraging me from the very, very start, and that was no small deal, comrade. I want to tell you. So there's a lot of people giving me encouragement like you, but you were definitely, you're on the list of people I just owe forever for this thing. So thanks a lot. Thanks for coming on tonight. Support Lark, support Howie, support independent media, support Mutual Aid Network. Do something for your community. Be safe about it, number one, because we want you back here next week at 8 p.m. happy and healthy to enjoy us on YouTube, on Twitter, on New Jersey Revolution Radio Live, streaming on Facebook, on your podcast, or wherever you get your media. Until then, this is Brian Powers, and I want to remind everybody out there that the police can quit their jobs.
Exactly.
And this is Diane Moxley saying, I don't want to see you in the streets right now. I want to see you in your homes a little bit more, and we will all be safe and stay healthy.
All right, I'm going to turn the music up now. Ha ha.